Christmas can make or break your business.
It can also be the best season you've ever had.
But if you don't prepare to fail. In this video, we're going to be talking you through our plans for Christmas in August.
That's right, we're talking about Christmas in August, and our Christmas chats get earlier and earlier every year, it feels.
So, is it too early to be preparing for Christmas? Because, I mean, it's very warm right now. Maybe not so outside, but it's August and we're sitting here with the lights on, boiling in t-shirts, and we're talking about Christmas. I mean, we have put Christmas lights in the background, so we've got the green and red theme on.
I think it looks good.
Yeah, I like it.
Well, it never is obviously the answer, and we are it's probably a time when it's too early. Maybe January.
I don't know. I feel like as soon as Christmas was done last year, it got to January and we started thinking, okay, yes, the work we're doing now is what are we doing now, but we also thought, okay, this is what we need to think about for Christmas. Product is early.
That's true.
Product
is really early. And like you even hear that, like, John Lewis, Walmart, Macy's, all of those like really big companies, they are planning instantly the moment they finish it pretty much.
The big ones will. I guess, obviously we're not as big as them. So I think small business...
Are you serious?
Actually, we are. Don't let people know. Don't let people tell you otherwise. But I think as a small business, you need to probably prepare earlier than you'd think, because we're trying to be bigger.
Yeah, I guess so.
Macy's, we're coming for you.
I don't know why I find it funny. And that's right. There's probably there's an order perspective I think that we've been working on quite a lot this year. So we're going for Christmas socks this year rather than not, which we really haven't done before. So I'm excited to see what that gets us. We're also trying, I guess, something a bit different with some other socks that we're putting in, so some new designs as well, and they're coming in Christmas. And I think one of the things that we'll probably change the most on is just being comfortable from an SEO perspective, starting Christmas earlier as well.
Oh, absolutely. That's a key one. And we've now spoken to a few people who have said you should be getting your SEO ready like 6 months out. So this is things like blogging about Christmas. So, your best Christmas presents under £10, and then obviously we talk about our own socks and things like that. But you don't want that to happen just before Christmas, because what happens with blogs and SEO and Google, it likes to prepare in advance. It likes to start seeing people click on it and build it up. So we have been told, get your SEO done early so it can start getting a flavour for it. The internet can start learning that you're talking about Christmas 2023. So that's what we're starting to work on now in August.
Yeah, I think it should be interesting to see how we go there. I'm also really curious to also see, I guess, not just what we do on the SEO and orders, but there's a few other areas that we want to talk about. So to kind of, I guess, signpost them, it's going to be around marketing, product, operations, our website, and then some people things as well. So if you stick around to the end, you'll hear all the juicy gossip.
So juicy.
I don't know. It's not just... Okay, never mind.
Okay, anyway. So should we start with marketing?
Yeah. So marketing in terms of paid ads and I guess just the general plan for marketing, we're going to do a few things this year that we didn't do previous years. Namely, we're going to be focusing really heavily on social proof. So we'll start our ads as soon as possible and get them out, get them, people liking them, commenting on them. And that really builds... I guess all of our best ads so far have been the ones where we've had pretty much, likes, comments, subscribes, shares early on. And that's been for our orangutan ad. It's also been for our snow leopard ad, which now has like 1,000+. You always get a lot of hate on them as well, weirdly. Like people are just happy to say, like, you know what, stuff you. You're only doing 10% of profits.
Only on Facebook. It's just anyone on Facebook. It's like that's where all the keyboard warriors live, but it doesn't matter. But I just actually wanted to ask, is that including like really Christmassy ads? Because I feel like in the past we've been scared of like when to launch Christmas ads, because it's like, when is too early? But are you saying we're going earlier this year? I
think we will, yeah. Even if that's maybe in September, where previously we talked about Christmas ads maybe in like start of October. Just try and get like a month in, and we'll probably experiment a lot less than we did last year and be more comfortable to put more money behind some of the, I guess, ads that are working earlier. Last year we had an agency on board which were good, but I think they really underestimated the power of social proof, and yet all of our ads even over the past 3 years, continue to only be great if they've got social proof on them.
Okay.
So we'll keep putting a bit of spend behind ads, kind of get them a bit more popular. We'll also do broad conversion campaigns rather than doing anything else. So previously we've focused on kind of like awareness campaigns and traffic campaigns, but I think ultimately you just leave it up to the black box algorithm that is Facebook, give it a lot of data in terms of creative, and that's what will work the best. And so we'll do that this year, I think, for sure.
What's the plan on budget?
We will probably continue to keep our like normal level of spend. It'll probably decrease this month in August, then go back to normal in September, and then start to come up October, November, December. And I think that's probably the same for any really business that I would advise as well, especially if you're a gifting product. And then we definitely want to look at also what are our ad ideas. So at the moment, we're really like heroing the product seems to be the best ones. I would love to kind of go out to more of, I guess, our charity partners and start to work with them more closely. We'll probably need to do that, I think, over the course of the next 3 months or something, and really see what can they do for us in terms of like getting us in front of Turtle Hatchery or whatever that looks like as well.
So from a photography point of view.
Yeah, I think there's a great like turtle brand. It's like a turtle hat brand. And I see their ads everywhere, and they've got, like 2 million likes or something on one of their posts.
Well, because they use a lot of turtle imagery. I think what you're saying is we need to go and visit the turtles.
Yeah.
That's a must.
It's a must do.
Urgent trip.
Dear HMRC.
Okay. So does that cover everything on messaging? By the sounds of it.
No, everything on marketing, and then on the messaging side of things, we want to do, I guess, starting straight away, going into what we're going to be talking about from the get-go. So talking about like things like, use socks to help you with your Christmas. Speaking of Santa, let's talk about socks or something, just whatever that messaging is, and start getting that brainstorming out early and start putting that into our ads early. Whereas, why?
You're a copywriting genius.
I'm a genius. I'm a genius. Thank you. Santa, socks.
I can't, look out for that ad. Wait, just run it for the hell of it. I get where you're coming from. Yeah.
Thanks. At least someone does.
Oh, great. Okay. So gifting, as we know, huge at Christmas for us. And this is why it's so important for us, because Christmas is such a big time of year. So we really do need to think about it this far out. And product was one of probably the earliest things that we started talking about on Christmas, I'd say, because in January, we were having the conversation about what designs are we going to do. And even then, actually, that was almost too late. We were fine in the end, but actually product now we're trying to do 24 months in advance, have like samples in hand and know a year ahead what we're going to be releasing. And that's something that we're building on this year. We've hired a freelance merchandiser to kind of help us with that process. We're kind of plowing through the designs now in preparation for this, and it will help us because we're going to a trade show in February. We want to have the kind of next season's worth of designs ready for buyers to be like, yep, I'll have that and that. So we're working at our cadence is quicker, but also further out, I think. Yeah.
But I also wanted to ask, and I probably should know this, but like why Christmas socks this year rather than not like last year? I think last year was huge for us. Like Christmas kind of blew us out of the water. Like we'd never expected to have that kind of growth. So if you haven't been in some of our previous episodes, some of our early ones, and I recommend you do, we talked about our like revenue jump from 20k when I was working part-time in the business to 200k my first year full-time. And then last year was like 550k. We were just like, where does this come from? Huge amount of growth. A lot of work went into that and some amazing marketing. But we've had that massive growth, and so much of that came from Christmas. So until then, I was uncertain of bringing out a range of socks that were extremely seasonal, because obviously in theory you can only sell them at Christmas. But now I am absolutely certain that these will just fly off the shelves and will run out. Yeah, and we've not ordered heaps. I mean, we brought in a few products, maybe like October last year, and they sold out within 6 weeks.
Yeah, and these will go great. If anything, I think we've under-ordered, but we're kind of pushing to the limit on cash flow at the moment in terms of what we can order. So yeah, this year it just felt right, and probably we'll do it and be like, wow, well, we should have ordered double, we should have done double the designs, and we should have done this 2 years earlier. But that is the case with a lot of decisions. We're like, okay, well, we could have done this earlier, but we haven't. It's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, it's true. Being a bit kinder to ourselves, but also continuing to push it.
Yeah. And if it works, great. We'll do it again next year. We'll double down. I think we're very good at doubling down when we know something works.
Yeah, that's true. And one of the things as well that we've probably taken a step up with this Christmas is a bit of analysis around like how is our sales doing and what does that translate to in terms of the socks required. And so we're really hammered down now that we know we're selling about 3,000 plus socks a month, which means we could get out 3 new designs per month, and we need to bring that in over the course of the next couple of months. You'll have heard me kind of talking about, but then come November, December, we're definitely going to be upping that to kind of 20 designs plus. This year we'll get, I think, maybe like 20, maybe 15 new designs
something like
across
that.
all of Christmas. Yeah. And then next year I'd expect that to be, I think next year I'd expect us to be at like 150 designs.
Wow. That's scary, but I can see it coming. Yeah,
absolutely.
I can see it working. I think especially hiring the freelance merchandiser is really going to help with this, because we've got so much more rhythm around product, the data behind it, and what we're actually going to do with the product. So certain slower selling lines, we need to kind of shift and then change direction on them, and then double down on the good ones, and then bring all of that newness in as well. So I feel like this is the most professional like uptick we've had recently.
Let's go. Professionalism. Absolutely. And then I think in terms of operations, this is probably where you take a lot more of the time on customer service in Christmas. Are you excited? Nervous?
Is anyone excited for customer service at Christmas? Okay, so to give context, last year was chaos. In the UK...
That's not fair. It wasn't chaos.
It was chaos. We dealt with it very well, but it was still chaos.
So. Yeah.
There was the Royal Mail strikes, so Britain just kind of just stopped working in the postal service. Like, it was horrendous. I think the postal providers did the best they could, but the demand was huge, and one of the biggest providers was just not delivering anything. So from a customer...
The national service, like the USPS, US Postal Service equivalent here in the UK, the Royal Mail, just said, nah, we're not delivering, which is pathetic.
Yeah, it was really, really tough. So customer service was me and my sister, and there was a lot of it. And I think there were days, we were in Australia at the time, which kind of worked out because she took the UK shift when she could, and then overnight I cleared through the inbox in Australia. So we kind of had that as a benefit, I guess. But then literally, like, I'd be on customer service all day, and everyone knows that, like, as a founder trying to run a business, you shouldn't be on customer service all day. And I think there is a few things, we've not got this right, but I think there's a few key things that you can do as a business owner to kind of help alleviate the pressure on customer service. So there's small steps you can take. So yes, can you have someone to help you? So I feel like for the size of our business, we probably don't have the most elite customer service, but it's very, very good customer service because me and my sister are doing it. So it's not the best from like a, I guess, efficiency point of view. Like, we haven't outsourced yet. We're not using software, but yeah, I mean, we're 5-star customer service throughout the whole of the strike. So I'm really proud of that one. But yes, what's next? Do we outsource? There's things like you can use outsourcing to the Philippines. Do we hire someone else full time? Do we hire temps because, that's just over Christmas we'd need it? Do we use software? Like, there's a lot of different things that can come into play there. And they've all kind of flown through my mind at various different points. But yeah, I don't want to lose the quality that we've got right now. So we'll have to see how it goes.
So I think the takeaway there for us, at least at our size of business, is we're keeping it in-house, small core team that's doing it. It'll be hopefully mostly we won't have as much because obviously we won't have the postal strikes. So hopefully it's mostly just your sister that's doing it, and can kind of do that overnight. Anything that's required. In addition to that, you can kind of come in, I guess, that next morning and kind of take over if needs be, but hopefully not. I also think like the strikes in general, it's such a shame that they've happened. There's been some in, UPS as well recently in the US, and we're very lucky. Year before last, we were not in a 3PL or a third-party logistics provider. We were just shipping it ourselves. We actually would have just gone out of business because we wouldn't have had a way to get out to customers with our products, which would have been atrocious. And that's because all of the providers were not taking on new clients, and they're within their right to do that. You really have to get in with someone who already has these clients. So moving to a 3PL is probably really important for a small
100%. Like that's
operation.
a benefit I think people don't think of, and I didn't even really fully appreciate until after the strikes, when I was speaking to other business owners, bigger companies than ours, that were doing their own operations. And how it works is you have your own like business account with each of the providers, and some of those providers were either dropping people because they didn't have the time for these small businesses and they were just focusing on their large accounts, or they just weren't letting new people in. But because we were part of a 3PL, they hold the relationship, so they have Yodel, Every, Royal Mail,
UPS, FedEx,
DPD, all of them.
USPS.
And so what we could then do is be like, switch this on, switch this off, change to this one, honestly, on like a daily basis. And then what we will do in preparation for Christmas is kind of set out a runway of what we expect from our SLAs, what we can map loads of different posts. And we've done this already now, but I think we can be more extensive with it over Christmas, is map out the different options in terms of tracked, non-tracked, the pricing, because customers, and we realised this too late last year, that customers are really willing to pay for expensive delivery as long as they have the certainty it will come before Christmas.
Yeah.
So we were taking a bit of a hit last year trying to send everything first class, Royal Mail free and things like that. Actually, customers are happy to pay if they know it's a reliable service. So we'll set out all of those this year way ahead of time, sit down with our warehouse, map it out. And I really recommend doing that now. If you've got a 3PL, and if you don't, consider what your postage options are this year, kind of from a contingency point of view. Hopefully we won't, touch wood, have more strikes, but you never know. So I think that's one thing you need to plan for.
Yeah, I think that's well put. We're also really considering what we're doing on the website this year. So going more heavily into SEO, I think we've already messaged that around, like, you know, the blogs. We're also going to be updating the website in terms of our product pages to be able to incorporate more Christmas messaging, which should be hopefully fun. And that's kind of like small things that I think have really added up for us. And, you know, Busher and I, who runs the website at the moment, we're always so negative and bashing ourselves of like, this needs to be better, it needs to be better. But then when we look at like the D2C side of things, we're like 30% up year on year.
Amazing.
We're spending less money. We've got more traffic like coming to us direct. I think we're in a really good position, and, you know, we've got a lot of SEO behind us. You know, I think we're number 2 on like Whale Day, for example, which is mad. And so like people are coming to us for the right reasons, and we want to keep doing that, and hopefully we can get that nailed for Christmas. And then we're also moving to a process of updating the website more regularly. So we've previously been kind of updating it every quarter. It's just not good enough. People want to see a bit of newness when they're coming to the website. And we'll start doing that every month. I think once we also get new products every month, we'll start to bring in those products to, you know, I guess a bit more of a rhythm, which should be a bit more fun, and just kind of like, you know, rinsing, repeating, update the website and kind of move on. So hopefully get into a natural operating rhythm there as well.
And the website is really good. Like, consider how far we've come. We started with just, you know, the very basic Shopify template, no kind of other personalization in there. And I had a session the other day with a consultant on like marketing and branding, and he was looking at the website, and I was waiting for like, you know, you could do this, or have you tried this? And honestly, he was just like, you guys have done a really good job. I wouldn't like, you know, your CTAs are there. You know, you've got your banner. The imagery is really nice. Just your messaging, your branding, like, you know, you're bringing it back to the charities and the animals everywhere you go. Yeah, your website's really good. And that was it. I was like, okay, great, thank you. Just like a kind of pat on the back.
Yeah.
So
but I think it's definitely a hygiene factor. And once you get it right, it's kind of like, okay, now we can set and forget and just drive more people to our website.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for doing that. I think it's also interesting to see what we're going to be doing with people as well to kind of finish off.
Yeah.
So we've been pushing really hard for the team. We want people to be taking time off, you know, kind of before Christmas. So in this summer period, but then not from our like busiest time of the year as well. And so we'll be looking at doing that as much as we possibly can. And then we can also take more leave after our last shipping day. And that's when typically on our gifting business, the orders drop off a cliff. Customer service really reduces down. The amount nice. We can shut down the website in a sense of like, you know, kind of removing the Christmas messaging or keeping it there, but, you know, flipping it more to gift cards, and then from gift cards it then goes down to more like, okay, welcome to January, and then we can take time off and get going as well.
Actually, gift cards is a really good point. So if you're on Shopify or something similar, put a gift card on, and then obviously once you've breached that last shipping day that you can't get something to someone before Christmas, you can throw some emails out there being like, if you've forgotten a last minute gift, here's a digital gift card. So don't forget about that one. It can be quite powerful.
And whack it on the homepage. Get those people that
Easy.
are still coming and get them done. So I think that's it for today.
Yeah, a nice quick one. But I mean, Christmas is now going to be what we're talking about up till Christmas. So good luck, guys. It's going to be
Jingle Tills. Yeah. We should just do one where it's just talking about just like, you know, not acronyms, what do they call it? Like words, Jingle Tills and
I think well, like jingle. Okay, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, okay, Jingle Tills. That's what we're hoping for.
We should name this episode Jingle Tills.
Okay, we can do that.
Maybe not. So thanks everyone for watching today. If you enjoyed watching, please subscribe. It helps us working for you. Obviously, we can't verify that you did it, but like and subscribe for more, and it can be in that little circle of trust. And we'll see you next time. Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.